Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the introduction of statistics and the functions and some of the characteristics of statistics. So first, let me talk about what is statistics. Statistical data are the ingredients with which statisticians work. A set of numbers representing records of observations is termed as statistical data. So the subject, statistics, is a science mainly deals with collection, classification, tabulation, analysis and interpretation of data. So let me write it for you. So this one is collection. The second is classification. Third is tabulation. And fourth is interpretation. So when you do all these things, we call that as statistics. So each stage we have to give a very careful attention how we are collecting the information. Ignoring the talents of statistician in planning and designing stage may lead to inappropriate and or inefficient data collection procedures. So resulting in a body of data that cannot be properly analyzed. So without statistical planning, the researcher may make costly mistakes and arrive at invalid conclusions. So basically what we are saying here is that so whenever you're doing any analysis, so you need to make a proper consultation with the statistician before collecting the data. So because any stage, humans are involved. So whenever any work done by human beings, there may be some percentage of error is involved. So in this case also, so we are dealing with the human beings in different stages. So there is a possibility of making error. So to avoid that, it is appropriate to consult with a statistician before starting your project or the collection of the data. So statistics is a branch of science, mainly deals with the data, functions of statistics. So the first stage is data acquisition. So in this data acquisition, the different fields acquire data in a different manner. So for example, in the physical science, we normally conduct experimental data. So we conduct experiments, and as a result of the experiments, so you will get the data. So physical science, though, mainly deal with the experimental data. The social science and the social scientists acquire data from survey data. So there will be marketing survey, socio-economic survey, political survey. So people normally conduct, the researchers normally conduct a survey, and as a result of a survey they will get the information, the data. So for social sciences, the main source of data is through the survey. So we call that as survey data. And the psychologists, they normally observe the patients, and based on the observation they collect the information. So it is for them, it is an observational data. And the geologists these days, through the satellites, they will acquire the data through spatial data. So for example, remote sensing and satellite communications. These days, they will, from the digitalization, they will convert into analog data, and from there they will acquire the data. So that is the data acquisition part. So how you can get your information, your data. And after the next stage, as I said earlier, it's about the presentation of data. So when it comes to presentation of data, we follow two methods. One is the tabular form and the graphs and diagrams. So the tabular form, it's basically a frequency data where each observation is tabulated with a frequency table. So the table, we call it univariate table, bivariate tables and multivariate tables. So when I go across each stage, I will explain what is univariate table, univariate frequency distribution, bivariate frequency distribution, and multivariate. And also we deal with the graphs and diagrams. There are different various graphs and diagrams that are available in statistical analysis. Some of them are known are pie chart, a bar chart, a line chart, area chart, and these days with the help of the statistical softwares, one can get as many graphs and diagrams possible. You can present your data in a beautiful manner, so that a person without having any statistical knowledge, any statistical background, a human being, normal, a lay person, can easily understand what the data is trying to convey the message. So the presentation of the data in a pictorial way is very, very important. One picture speaks 1,000 words. So you need to, so whenever you're doing the presentation, you give main emphasis that the data also has some graphs and diagrams, which will convey the message very easily to the students and also other expertise.